If you've ever asked yourself what it really takes to start a glass factory in Nigeria, this video will give you the honest answer. The costs, the approvals, the challenges, and why some people still make serious money from it. Glass manufacturing is not a small business, it's heavy industry. Glass is made mainly from sand, limestone, soda ash, and very high heat. Nigeria has sand in abundance, but we don't have enough glass factories. That's why we still import a large percentage of our bottles, window glass, and flat glass sheets. Every time you buy a drink, build a house, or see a pharmaceutical bottle, chances are that the glass was imported. That gap is the opportunity. Now let's talk about money, because this is where most people underestimate the business. A proper medium-scale glass factory, whether you're producing bottles or flat glass, will cost between $10 to $25 million to set up. Using 1,450 naira into the dollar, that's roughly 14.5 to 36.2 billion. And that's not luxury spending, that's basic industrial reality. Why is it so expensive? First, glass production requires industrial furnaces that operate at temperatures of around 1,000 to 400 degrees Celsius. These furnaces are massive, custom built, and once they are turned on, they are expected to run continuously for years. They don't shut them down because of power issues. You also need batch mixing systems to prepare raw materials, forming machines to shape bottles, or float glass lines for flat glass, cooling and annealing systems, and quality control equipment. Then there's land. A glass factory needs space, typically 2 to 5 hectares, depending on capacity. You also need water treatment system because glass production uses large volumes of water for cooling and cleaning. But the biggest ongoing cost is energy. You cannot depend on public electricity for a glass factory. Most plants in Nigeria run on natural gas or large industrial generators. Gas supply stability becomes a make or break issue. If your furnace stops unexpectedly, you can lose equipment worth billions overnight. That's why energy planning is not optional, it is the business. Now let's talk approvals. Because industrial manufacturing in Nigeria is paperwork heavy. First, you must register the company with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Then you'll need a manufacturing license from the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. You must carry out an environmental impact assessment approved by NESRIA because glass production affects air, water, land. Your product must meet standard Organization of Nigeria's requirements, so SON certification is mandatory. You also need state and local government approval for land use, building permits, and factory operations. And if you are producing bottles for food, beverages, or pharmaceuticals, you will need NAFDAC approval for packaging materials. This process takes time. It takes months, sometimes more than a year if you're not prepared. So is it worth it? Nigeria imports hundreds of millions of glass bottles and massive quantities of flat glass every year. Construction companies, beverage producers, pharmaceutical companies, real estate developers, solar panel manufacturers, they all need glass. Demand is not the problem. The real barrier is capital, energy stability, and technical expertise. This is not a business for quick returns. It's a long-term industrial investment. But if you get it right, if you secure energy, manage costs, and build strong takeoff agreements, this is the kind of business that prints revenue for decades. The question is not whether glass manufacturing works in Nigeria. The question is whether you are ready for industrial scale thinking. If you found this breakdown useful, like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you invest in heavy manufacturing in Nigeria, or the risk is still too high for you?
Just so you know, this is for information only and not advice. Some details or policies might have changed by the time you're watching this.